Lomo having a little disagreement with Floyd Mayweather and causing him to. It seemed like he called out Floyd, but he changed it to calling out Gervonta Davis. Now I know this isn't the first time he said Gervonta Davis's name, but it seems like he didn't like what Floyd Mayweather had to say about him, and he got upset and said whatever he said on Twitter, and called Gervonta Davis out again, basically, but called him out to Floyd Mayweather. Um, Now, honestly, Floyd didn't say nothing that Mikey Garcia didn't already say. He didn't say nothing that a lot of people, a lot of fans already said, and it's true that he's fought a lot of smaller fighters. It's true that a lot of the people that he fought has been off for extensive time and hasn't been fighting or hasn't been active regularly, hasn't fought 2 or 3 times a year, or if they did fight, had a little bit of work in the ring. Those are people he fights, or they old. I mean, it's a fact. That's really who you fight. I mean, it is what it is. But when it comes to him fighting Gervonta Davis, it will be a great fight. And I'll be the first one to tell you that Gervonta Davis is very entertaining. I'll watch Gervonta Davis fight over Lomo any day. I think he's a more entertaining fighter. I think he gets the knockout. I like knockouts. So, I mean, that's pretty much what that is. I love the sweet science of boxing, and I like Lomo's footwork, but I just like Gervonta Davis more. It just is what it is, and I'm not scared for him to take an L. I know he's not scared to take an L. And if they did fight each other, it's like I said, it'll be a great fight. I would love to watch it. And if he lost, he lost. But I'm telling you right now, where he's from, in that the part of Baltimore he's from, if he quit when fighting Lomo, he ain't gonna be able to show his face in Baltimore no more. He might as well move to fucking Vegas. Him and his family. That's how we carry it down here. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Because if he did fight Lomo and he quit, they would have been around here saying that white boy made you quit. That's exactly how they would put it. And probably worse. And that's just something that don't happen, So if they fought and lost, it would be a good fight. I think it will go all 12 rounds if he did lose. I don't see Lomo stopping Gervonta Davis. I believe Gervonta Davis fights bigger fighters than himself all the time. I don't know about Lomo, but I mean, he sparred Shakur Stevenson. That's probably, I mean, I don't know the people he sparred, but that's the biggest sparring partner I've heard of. I've heard him spar. Gervonta Davis spars guys is 160. Guys is a lot taller than him. He's very short. Guys with a longer reach than him. Like, I believe he's a slick fighter, and his best is yet to come. And I would, just like I said, I would love to see his fight. I'm not scared to see him lose. And I'm going to keep saying that because I know how you guys, this first thing you're going to say is, yeah, it's one of my favorite fighters. That's why he's in the beginning of my video. Just like, I don't care if any of these people lose. Like, I don't know them personally. They're fighters. I'm a fan. I'm not anything more than a fan. I don't care if they lose. Yes, it's all about having good fights, watching good fights, and giving the fans what they want. And that is a good fight. And that's just how I see it. But I also see if anybody gets stopped, it's going to be Lomo because Gervonta Davis has power in both hands. Like, I can't say the same about Lomo. And I can't say that Lomo has a great chin. I can say that Gervonta Davis does because all the people that dislike him, and we had sparring wars, none of them said they knocked him out during the sparring war. And these are all bigger fighters. None of them said they dropped him during the sparring war. They just call it wars. Like, it was a war. I had him a couple times. He had me a couple times. We sparred for 20 minutes straight. All of that shit. I've never heard anybody say, and there's a lot of people that don't like him. None of them ever said that they knocked him out or knocked him down during sparring. Now, I mean, just like I said, I don't know how many, when it comes to Lomo, I don't know how many people he's even sparred. I don't know who he sparred besides Shakur Stevenson. And I just don't know a lot about him and sparring or him and having what type of chin he even has. I don't know when it comes to Lomo, but I know a lot when it comes to Gervonta Davis, and I know that I don't see him quitting if they do fight. If he do lose, it's going to be in decision. If he win, he might stop Lomo. As far as the reach, I think both of them, and I mean, honestly, I think Gervonta Davis is a smaller guy than Lomo. You know, for real, like, it's another smaller guy. And this is a guy that don't even have a belt. Like, you can't get nothing out of this fight but some respect. That's it, you know. But Lomo is a current belt holder as a WBO at 130. And there is 3 other champions at 130. You know, they're not vacant belts. There's 3 other champions that he can unify with. All right, and when it comes to this, the only reason why I'm saying this is because Fanon and International did a live video yesterday, and I was part of most of it. I was there for most of it in the beginning, and it was basically who was going to win Fighter of the Year for 2017, and everybody was like Lomo, or it should be Crawford, but Lomo's going to get it. Now, if that's the case and Lomo should win, Lomo got to unify something. Like, he can't beat Crawford, unified the whole division of 140. He was undisputed champion in 2017. If he don't unify, I mean, it's not going to happen this year because the year is already up, but the man needs to unify. He don't need to be calling out Gervonta Davis. He needs to be unifying. Now, if the Gervonta Davis and Kenichi Ogawa fight happen, I believe he will get his IBF strap back, and that's when that fight should happen because it will be a unification. But in saying that, you know what? Before I get to that, let me just say one more thing about Gervonta Davis versus Lomo. Like, I really think, honestly, if I gotta call the fight, I would say that if Gervonta Davis, if they team figure out what Lomo's doing and could stop him from doing that, and clinching up is not the key. What Rigondeaux was doing, clinching up is not, holding him is not the key. Because then all it shows is that you're scared. Like, it just looks weird. Clinching up isn't the key. But what Lomo does is, like, when I played basketball in high school, we had this coach come in, some type of special ass coach or whatever, to show us some shit. And basically, he wasn't a good player, he gave us a one-on-one. All of us, he gave one-on-one games to whoever who wanted to play one-on-one, and I wanted to play his ass. Like, shit, fuck it. So I played him one-on-one, and the man wasn't a good basketball player, but what he did do, and he showed us what he was doing and explained it to us, is that he would dribble the ball and wait for us to have our weight on one leg and then go in the opposite direction. That is what Lomo was doing. But the simple fact that everybody's strong hand is always behind them, their leg is always behind them. Like, if you right-handed, your right leg and your right hand is back, and you know what I'm saying? He waits. Like, he'll throw his punches and wait. And when the man, when the fighter is sitting there trying to dodge, and he takes that step back and he puts all his weight on that back foot and then try to dodge punches, that's when Lomo works. Lomo gets in, he'll take it, like, that fighter would take one step back, put all his weight on that one on that one leg and start dodging punches, and Lomo is taking 2-3 steps forward while you already stationary with all that weight on your back leg. This is what he's doing. He throws those shots and then he circles to the right. It's almost 90%. It's always to the right. He circles to the right and he does whatever he wants to you. That is what he's doing in the ring. When they can capitalize off that, Lomo's a very beatable fighter. I'm sorry, but that's just what I see. That's what I see him doing because I've been taught that in basketball. It's the same shit. It's the same key. When you try to beat somebody to the basket, it's the same thing as beating them to the punch. If they can't do nothing because all their weight is on one leg, they can't go to the right. They can't. Like, you can only do so much quickly. Punches, Lomo can throw, 4 or 5 punches in a second? Like, seriously. Just think about how quickly that can happen. I mean, once he see you do that bend, which Rigondeaux did all the time, but I've never really sat and watched tape of Lomo, because just like I said, he's not entertaining to me. When I sat and watched tape of him, especially when I watched him fight Walters, when I sat and watched that fight, that's what I seen. It was clear to me that that's what he was doing. So once they capitalize off that, saying that, I mean, and the fact that what's his name, Gervonta Tank Davis isn't the same fighter as Gary Russell. Gary Russell does have very fast hands, but he has very short arms, and he does not have power like Gervonta Davis has. He damn sure don't have power in both hands. Gervonta Davis is a left-handed fighter. He knocks everybody out with a right hook. But moving on. Now, if y'all gonna sit and talk about him, talk about Lomo's this, he's that, he's pound for pound, he deserves knockout of the year, fire of the year, and all the other stuff, the man has to unify. He has to do something to trump what's his name? The Trump Bud Crawford. He has to, or he shouldn't even be in the running. You can't be pound for pound and haven't did nothing in other weight classes. Like, yeah, he got his title at 130, but what did he do in other weight classes? He ain't even unified 130 yet. For y'all to be saying that he deserves to be fighter of the year. Like, what else did he do in 2017? But I think he should fight Mikey Garcia. Mike Garcia has a belt. Just like, Rigondeaux moved up 2 weight classes and he got his belt taken away when he lost. I mean, he might not have his belt. But when it comes to Lomo and Mikey Garcia, I think this is a very doable fight. He's not moving up 2 weight classes, so you can't cry about that. He's not fighting Terrence Crawford. He's fighting Mikey Garcia. And I think both fighters are down for the fight. Bob Arum should just let him get at it. Top Rank should just let the fight happen. Honestly. I think this right here would be a better fight than him versus Gervonta Davis. And that's just what I think. This is a bigger guy than Gervonta Davis. He's a bigger guy than Lomo. I just think it'll be a better fight. It is what it is. And if you ask me, Mike Garcia did a whole lot more in his career than Lomo. If anything, since Lomo wants respect and wants he said, I'm not gonna get no props for beating Rigondeaux. I bet you will get props for beating Mikey Garcia. If you beat Mikey Garcia, bruh, I'm a fan. And that's just how I look at it. But I don't see him beating Mikey Garcia. People think he'll run through Mike Garcia. I don't see it that way. And he keeps saying, he said during the Rigondeaux fight, if Rigondeaux comes forward, it'll be easier, it'll be better for him. If that's what your weakness is, coming forward, which it seems like, because that's what Salido did, Gervonta Davis is that. He's going to come forward. Mikey Garcia can do that. He can come forward. I'm saying. I'm just saying, I think both of them fights are very good fights. And up and coming in 2018, we should see them. But I really think Mikey Garcia can move down to 130 just to fight Lomo, or they can meet halfway. I know Mikey Garcia ain't gonna do Lomo the way Lomo did Rigondeaux and tell him just to move all the way up 2 weight classes. He probably meet him halfway, maybe not at a catch weight. I don't know. But beyond that, what about the other 2 champs? And I'm not going to say Kenichi Ogawa, because if Gervonta Davis do fight him next year, Gervonta Davis will have that IBF strap. But what about this WBC champ, Miguel Burchett? Why don't you unify with him? You haven't said his name at all. Shit. Even, what's his name? Tevin Farmer. Even Tevin Farmer, before he fought Kenichi Ogawa in the interview, he said, after I get this belt and beat Kenichi Ogawa, I want the WBC. I want Miguel Burchett. He said that before even becoming the champ. But Lomo hasn't called out nobody else that's a champion at 130. Why? That's all I want to know is why. As Miguel Burchett is bigger than Lomo too. I'm not saying this is the reason why he's not calling him out. I'm just saying he's bigger than Lomo. I really want to know why he ain't calling him out to unify. And then there's Alberto Machado. Now this guy has the WBA right now. He's a very tall guy, very lengthy fighter. He has alright speed and he does have punching power. And I believe this would be a good fight against him and Lomo if Lomo called him out. He just beat Jezreel Corrales and knocked him the fuck out. during the fight. During his last fight, he just got this title. I mean, so this is easy pickings. I think he was ranked number 7, number 5 or something like that when Jezreel Corrales gave him a title shot, and he beat him in good fashion. Like, he knocked Corrales down, and Corrales held him so tough that both of them fell down. And then he just knocked him slam out. I mean, he got up, but he got up on 10. You know what I'm saying? And the fight was over. But this is another guy he could call out to unify. Don't be mad at me. Y'all did this. This is the stuff that the fans be talking about, so I'm answering it. But always, if you are mad, fuck you. Seriously, I don't care. It is what it is, man. It's like I said, I don't have no ties to none of these fighters. I'm a fan. I want to see the best fights. And Lomo hasn't did enough to become the fighter of the year of 2017. No, he hasn't. And if he wants to become the fighter of the year 2018, that boy gonna have to unify, because the fights of 2018 is about to be fire. Everybody working, he should start working too, in becoming a undisputed champion. Or even just having a belt more than one weight class, or just more than one belt in a weight class. Like, any of that would be having his foot in the right direction. But as always, like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.